Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are having a great week out there. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you know when I upload new videos. Alright, today I want to talk about the C5 Corvette. I had a 2000 Millennium Yellow C5 Corvette, made 345 horsepower. It was a 4-speed automatic. Had the LS1 in it, and it was really nice. Very fast. I just today wanted to talk about that car, you know, just give you guys a little bit of on-site and things you can expect with ownership of that vehicle. It was a nice car. I loved it. I'll put some pictures up on the screen so you guys can see that as well. Well, I don't want to say it did have some issues. The car was great. It was fantastic. But during ownership, it had some issues. I mean, it was a 2000 vehicle, so you got stuff that wears, you know, you got leather, you got plastic, you got rubber, stuff like that. So I just want to go over with you guys so you guys can see some of the things that if you are deciding to get a C5 Corvette, what you can kind of expect. The front bumper of my C5 Corvette, number one, it had little bitty like paint chips a little bit started to occur, and where you could actually see like the white underneath a little bit, so that started to be a little bit of an issue. And let's see, looking at my notes, the headlights, the front headlights had those pop-up headlights. I ended up having an issue with one of those lights. I had to, I guess one of the gears in the inside where the motor was started to strip out, so the light wouldn't want to come up, it'd flicker and stuff like that. So I ended up having to take it apart and change out that gear. Once I did that, put it back together and started the operation of the lights coming up and down. It worked fine, fantastic. So that was it on that one. And then number three was the climate control. So on the climate control, some of the lights wouldn't work on it, so I ended up looking this up online or something like that. I ended up pulling it out, the climate control system, and then there's a little diode that needed to be soldered, so I took it apart, opened it up, soldered that diode, put it back together, and it worked great. The problem with it is after a while it came back again. I mean, I would say probably between 3 to 6 months, maybe 9 months, some of the lights started to go out again. So I was like, oh, I gotta take it out and do it again. So I was like, oh. So that was an issue. Number 4. Oh yeah, number 4. The seat back. The reclining part of the seat, when it goes back and it holds the seat back up for you, it actually stripped out, so it wouldn't hold the seat up like it needed to. So I had to actually go in. It's crazy, guys. This is crazy. This is sometimes ownership. I'm owning a C5 Okay, so I had to put an actual pillow behind the seat, right? Put a pillow behind the seat so that it would keep the seat up far enough so I could drive the car comfortably. So yeah, that was one other thing with the C5. Let's see, next. Oh yeah, this was a big one. The rear diff. The rear differential had a leak. And I kind of knew about this going in, that rear diff could leak. I ended up taking it to my closest Chevy dealer, and they actually took it apart. Actually, you know what? I don't think it was a Chevy dealer. I think it was this little shop off of 42nd in Odessa, Texas. I think they actually took it apart for me and ended up changing the seal, putting everything back together, filling it back up with the fluid, the diff fluid, and I didn't have a leak out of that. It was fine. Let's see, next. Oh yeah, my water pump went out. So, I mean, I can't remember how many miles on it had on it at the time, but it had quite a bit. I think it was over. It was between either 80 and 100,000 miles. So I mean, it was time to change out the water pump. So I ended up changing that water pump out myself. And after that, I didn't have any more issues with it. Let's see what's next. Oh, okay. So I noticed sometimes that the temperature in the C5 Corvette, the cooling temperature, would get a little bit hot sometimes. So I thought about, like, I started watching it. I remember it was at around, if I can recall, it was at around 200, between 200 and 210, something like that. It would kind of normally be, especially on a really, really hot day with the AC on and everything, right around there, something like that. So I was like, man, I want this thing running. Seemed like it would get hotter than usual. It would run fine, wouldn't have any issues, but I just don't like my cars running hot. If they don't have to run hot, I don't want them to run hot. So I ended up searching online, and I found a nice, I think it was a Be Cool radiator. I ended up getting that radiator for it, and I had the same guys do it that I took that had them do the rediff for me. Took it to them. I ordered the new radiator, got it shipped to my house. I took the radiator to them and the car, and they swapped it out for me. And after that, man, I had no more issues. I mean, my temperature probably would be a stretch trying to get to 193 on the regular. So that fixed the problem totally, which was pretty cool for me, because like I said, I like my cars running as cool as possible. Okay, let's see here. Next. Oh, this was a good one. Okay. So, again, the car was old. It was old. It was an older car. It was a 2000. So this was crazy. So whenever I would wash the car, sometimes because of the seals of the car, it would leak around, like, the driver or passenger window. It would leak right between where the top of the door frame meets the glass. It would leak right there. So I'd have to take a towel with me or something like that every once in a while and put a towel there, just so the water wouldn't come through and, get all on the interior and stuff like that. That was crazy. So that was another issue I had happen. The only thing would probably alleviate that, I didn't try it before I ended up getting rid of the car, is that you probably could get the new some new, like, the door seals, replace the old ones, because they were probably all dry rotted and everything, and dried out. So replace those and you probably wouldn't have that problem. And then let's see, another thing was, I like to wash my car. Sometimes I like to wash the engine bay when I wash my cars. So on the C5, I would open up the engine bay, wash it, not with crazy, not just with, with the sprayer, with just the regular sprayer at the car wash, and you go side to side, not concentrating on one area, spraying water, just side to side, a nice little wash, and then after I would wash it, not with soap and rinse, just with water on rinse. Just nice and easy. Like I said, not concentrating on one area, just in a sweeping motion. And then after that, wipe it off. And once you wipe it off, sometimes I get in my car and then it would say low power mode. Some of my systems would start malfunctioning. And I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. So then it would say reduce power on my DIC. I was like, oh man. So what ended up happening basically was that water was getting in something. I remember looking it up online. I can't recall right now, but water started getting into something, and basically that would cause the issue to come up on my DIC saying that something's wrong. That was my malfunction. So I kind of stopped washing it like that and just started using a towel, a wet towel, wet rag, and just wiping down the whole engine compartment that way to alleviate that problem. And that was basically it. But it was a very, very good car. That LS1, man, is tried and true. That's a nice engine. Push that gas and that car would just take off. So I love that car. Man, I love it. So what happened to it? I knew you guys were gonna ask that. What happened to that car? Well, this is what not to do, okay? I had got the car wash, and as I was coming out of my local car wash, you know, I needed tires on it. It needed tires. The tires were wet. And as I come out, I give it a little bit too much gas, and it started fishtailing left to right. I turned the wheel one way, turned the wheel the other way. You know, I tried to catch it, and the traction control was still on. I'm not crazy, take the traction control off. But I started fishtailing crazy. And all of a sudden, it started going towards the curb. And all I could think about was to hold the steering wheel with both hands and get ready for impact. I was like, oh my gosh. I hit that curb, jumped the curb. I was like, oh no, my car. I was done. So I ended up, was able to get it back started again. At first it wouldn't start a little bit. It was having a little issues, but I started giving it a little bit of gas. It started up. I was like, oh, it was running. So I made sure no cars were behind me, backed up off the curb, and went up to the next turn in. I think it was a Home Depot's parking lot or something like that. Pulled in there and just parked the car, and I was just petrified. I did not want to get out the car to look at the front of it. You know, first of all, I'm glad I was okay, but I didn't want to get out and look at it. And then some guy, I guess, saw it, came up in a pickup, and he looked. He was in the front of the truck, and he just looked out his window. He's like, is everything okay? I said, yeah, I'm fine. I said, I messed my car up. And he looks out like, I don't see any damage. I'm like, what? So I'm like, okay. So I finally get up the nerve to get out of the car. And I look in front, and I look at the bumper and everything. It's fine. There's no damage. So I'm like, what? No damage? So I'm like, there's gotta be something, because the car doesn't want to start like I need it to. You know, like on the first try, like it normally would. So I got underneath, and I saw that a vacuum piece was missing. The radiator supports that hold the radiator like it's supposed to underneath were all broken up. I was like, dang it. Because I guess, you know, when I hopped the curb, that was the first thing it hit that, and then the cross member, the cross member of the cradle for the actual engine, that hit as well, but there was no damage to that. So ended up what happened, called my wife, she came out, and we looked at the car, called the insurance company. They came out with the tow truck, took it to my closest auto body shop, and they had it for about a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, and they called me and said it's totaled. They said they can't put it back together. I was like, oh no. So long story short, that's how the demise of my 2000 Millennium Yellow C5, that's how I went. Crazy. I know now, never, especially the tires are wet. I needed new tires, and then I was on a kind of a curb, and I just hammered the gas. That was just stupid. I know now, no, don't ever do that. So if you guys need tires, don't ever do that. And it's wet too, don't ever do that. All right, don't do it. And always leave your traction control on, unless you're on a track or something like that, or an area where there's nobody around. Do not take the traction control off. That's an easy way to wreck your car. Don't do it. Easy way to wreck your Corvette. And I think I'll put a video. I know there's a video somewhere online, and I'm gonna put that video up and show you. Basically, this is what happened to my car. It just fishtail, and then whoop, went into the ditch, and that was it. It was over. Man, I have wrecked my Corvette. I cannot believe this. I wrecked my Corvette. Stupid, just stupid. Oh, so anyway, I'm gonna have, basically this is like a 3 or 4 part series. I'm gonna have more videos come up, and I'm gonna explain to you guys what happened and what you can expect with the different Corvette models, starting from like this current video right now, the C5, all the way up to my C8. That's it, guys. All right, so again, make sure you guys like, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you know when I upload new videos. You guys have a good blessed day or good week. All right, peace. I'm out.